Ride-sharing driver arrested and charged, and police allege there could be more sexual assault victims out there that they'd like to talk to. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Ottawa police say they've arrested and charged a man who drove for two popular ride-sharing companies, and now they are releasing his name with suspicions there could be more victims. CTV's Dylan Dyson is here with everything we know so far. Dylan.
Stefan, the arrest happened after an alleged sexual assault took place this past weekend. Police say 36-year-old Mohamed LaRousse of Orleans is facing one count of sexual assault. A photo of the driver has not been shared by police. Ottawa police say the alleged incident happened Saturday while LaRousse is driving for Uber or Lyft. Now, in a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for Uber said the reported incident did not happen on the Uber platform, adding, as soon as they were made aware of this incident, Uber removed the driver's access to the platform and began assisting law enforcement's investigation. Given that LaRousse was a registered driver on both apps, police are concerned there could be more victims.
We encourage people to use the rideshare information within the app to send that information to a trusted friend who will be able to track and monitor your progress from your departure to your arrival at your destination to ensure that you arrive safely.
Ottawa police are encouraging rideshare users to double-check the driver's identity, vehicle, and license plate matches the requested ride in the app before getting into a vehicle. LaRousse remains in custody pending a bail hearing on Thursday. CTV News requested comment from Lyft, but did not receive a response. Stefan.
CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us. Thank you, Dylan. Across the river in Gatineau, police have been busy investigating a shooting that left one person injured this morning. Police say it happened in the area of Rue de l'Arbre des Ormeaux around 10:40 a.m. The gunshot victim was taken to hospital. A suspect was arrested, and based on current information, they don't believe there is a threat to public safety. Turning to the Smiths Falls area now, where a Lanark County family says they got kicked when they were already down. A devastating fire destroyed much of what they owned, and they say the little that was left was stolen from a shed. CTV's Caitlin Wilson is here to explain further. Caitlin.
Yes, Stefan, the Burns family thought the worst was over once the flames were out, but days later they discovered the belongings that had survived were stolen, and some nearly impossible to replace. When fire tore through their house on July 3rd, Kimberly and Tyler Burns thought they lost everything. And while their house is a total loss, firefighters managed to save some of their belongings, including a collection of antique tractors and silverware. The couple stored the items in a shed on their property for safekeeping, but days later, they say everything was stolen.
Pretty angry, honestly. Like, why would anyone do that? Like, it's pretty wild. Like, you know, you pull up to a burnt house and you open up a shed, you know, and there's a baby crib in there with all the toys in it, and you still take that stuff. So, pretty wild to me that someone has the audacity to do that.
For now, the family is staying with relatives, surrounded by a community that has raised nearly $7,000 to help cover what insurance won't. They're hoping the few pieces that survived the fire can still find their way home. The cause of the fire is undetermined. Stefan?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson with the update. Thank you. July 2026 is making a splash today with its new claim to fame. This is set to be the wettest Ottawa July on record. Environment Canada says the record sits just shy of 250 millimeters. We have already surpassed that with more rain on the way before the month ends on Friday. The massive Canada Day storm is what kicked off a chance to beat the record, and many are still dealing with the aftermath.
It's very stressful because when you call the insurance company to say, are you going to come this week or next week? And they go, we don't know. It's stressful because there are so many people affected.
It's, you know, the open question of how much is it going to cost to fix and how long is it going to take? And oh no, we got a vacation coming, and is it going to get done before then, et cetera, et cetera.
The city is encouraging residents to take preventative measures to protect against possible flooding, including ensuring sump pumps are working and clearing catch basins. Attention drivers, there are a number of changes to parking tickets to be aware of. Starting today, the ticket on your windshield will be yellow, not white, to make it easier to see. You also now have 15 days to pay the early payment fine, up from a week, and as of September 1st, the fine for being in a no stopping or no parking area in the downtown core is also increasing significantly. The changes come as the city prepares for more vehicles downtown as federal workers return to the office 4 days a week.
I mean, a parking ticket's a parking ticket no matter what color it is.
I don't care.
Not a big deal one way or the other.
They get lost very easily, and I've often found one in the mail that I didn't know I had, and yeah, yellow's a great idea.
Drivers will also have up to 15 days to challenge a parking ticket. A late fee applies after 45. More than 150 wildfires are burning across Ontario, including the largest fire in the province's history. The massive fire has been dubbed Thunder Bay 36. It covers an area of more than 3,000 square kilometers. Recent rainfall has helped slow the fire, but officials say it remains out of control. At least 22 other fires are also considered out of control. Additional crews from Alberta have arrived to help with the firefighting effort. Political pundits feeling puzzled today and are starting to ask the government what's the point of going to Washington if the president says that CUSMA isn't important. CTV's Rachel Aiello explains further.
So the USMCA, are you looking to update that?
I don't care. I mean, I don't really want to.
U.S. President Donald Trump made it clear today he doesn't really want to renegotiate the trilateral trade pact known on this side of the border as CUSMA.
I'd rather be independent. Here's the thing. Mexico and Canada need us. We don't need them. The deal is important for them. It's not important for us.
This declaration prompting new questions about Canada's ability to get a good deal.
We haven't seen the intensity that a government that is focused on its interests should be bringing to our own North American contact.
Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc and this country's chief trade negotiator are heading back down to D.C. this week for meetings. And this longtime Canada-U.S. relations expert says Trump's latest comments show that this country should be treating this trade war like a war.
It's not because you wish to exacerbate the trade war with tit-for-tat retaliation. That's not working. And it's not that you want to, do something dramatic that'll hurt your own economy. But the U.S. has to be convinced that you're willing to. That's, I think, where we are.
With just 3 weeks left before Trump's 50% tariffs on a range of Canadian exports come into effect, there's little clarity on the minister's game plan.
I think he owes our country some transparency.
And new data indicates the renewed tariff threats are casting a fresh chill on already frozen business investment.
Holding back on business investments today, whether it's investing in machinery and equipment, R&D, or people, means delayed in future growth in wages and productivity later on. And so with all this uncertainty, it's really starting to affect our long-term competitiveness.
LeBlanc's office confirmed to us this afternoon that the minister is now in D.C., but still won't say how long he plans to be there. Asked to respond to Trump's latest salvo and if it hurts their chances of getting a deal, the minister's spokesperson said, quote, "We will not comment on that." Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, OC Transpo riders getting to have a say. CFRE's Christy Cameron goes off script about the info and feedback sessions that could turn into a group gripe session instead. And Jackie Perez joins us with a first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. A heavy rainfall moving through most of our morning. A special weather statement is still in place. Again, we are anticipating between 50 to 100 meter rainfall when all is said and done. This statement is in place until Wednesday morning. In the Quebec side, there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, and that is going to be in effect until later this evening. Now, overnight, this thunderstorm risk still in place. An additional 10 millimeters as well is what we can see in these overnight hours. 17 degrees. Tomorrow's daytime high is 23 degrees, but we are anticipating another round of 15 to 25 millimeters of rain moving through. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit, but right now temperatures across eastern Ontario hovering around 23 to 25 degrees. Those humidex levels, though, feeling closer to 31.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. The annual fireworks competition by Casino Lac Limia is set to get underway tomorrow, weather dependent. But though many gather at the casino or various vantage points like Majors Hill, there's a 2-hour river cruise experience you can do as well. Tickets are required in advance, and you can get them online. Fireworks are scheduled every Wednesday and Saturday starting tomorrow until the 15th of August. Now here's a live check on traffic. The westbound lanes of the Queensway slow moving between Parkdale and Pinecrest. Eastbound backed up from Maitland to Bronson. And the 174 eastbound is moderate from the split to Montreal Road. You're watching CTV News at 5. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. OC Transpo riders are getting a chance to provide feedback and concerns about the city's transit system. The first session is tonight at Jean Piggott Place at City Hall until 8 p.m. This full schedule is available on our website. There are several dates there. But right now, let's bring in CFRA's Christy Cameron, who has long been going off script with feedback. Christy.
Well, I expect the City of Ottawa is going to get a lot of that tonight and during all of these public sessions. Feedback from people who are worried about the September test, because that is the real test, isn't it, Steph? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, the city shared its plan to ease traffic and keep transit moving. It's a $30 million plan, but it comes down to execution. I mean, look at the numbers here. The city anticipates it will mean 65,000 additional weekly trips into the downtown core. That's a ton of people. That's a large volume on the roads and on the buses. So you can add buses and, let rec centers and churches rent out parking spots, but is it enough? I don't think it is. I don't really know, because we haven't tested it yet, and that's what concerns me. It's going to be a bit of a living experiment, if you will. I chatted with Laura Shantz earlier today. She's a board member with Ottawa Transit Riders. She said the feedback sessions are good, but they probably should have been held earlier.
Listening to riders is never a bad thing. Let's let riders have a say. Let's let people share their ideas, opinions, concerns. Will we see immediate change based on that feedback? I highly doubt it. But if there are things that can be done to improve the user experience or to take action on some of the comments, that would be great.
That would be great indeed, and I'm sure once people get a whiff of those dates or get to see them, they'll be planning in their calendar when to attend, Christy.
I'm also wondering if the transit GM himself, Rick Leary, is going to be individually having conversations. It sounded like from the memo that he's certainly going to be present, but can people actually get one-on-one time with him? I mean, if so, that's pretty cool.
We'll have to see.
It's a good opportunity.
It's a great opportunity.
Hey, maybe I go. Maybe I show up down there. Hey, Mr. Leary over here.
Say hi to Christy if you see her. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the TalkBack feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. And now watch Christy's segments anytime on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel.
Black Lives Matter, Black History Matters, and Black history is Canadian history, and we need to honor that.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, history in the making. A notable achievement gets marked with the commemoration of a park. Simply Ottawa is next. Here's what else you need to know. Tomorrow marks another Wednesday of magic at the Manor. The Manor Lounge, a.k.a. Escape Manor on Elgin, has a 90-minute magic and mentalism show. It starts at 7 p.m. You can get tickets in advance, and if it sells out this time, the next one is on September 23rd. Taking a live look at the Queens right now, O'Connor not looking too bad in both directions. Bronson also flowing well at this time. Bayswater moving well. We know that the slowdown starts at Parkdale, especially in those westbound lanes, and it goes out to Pinecrest. We'll be right back. Coming up on CTV tonight after the news, E-Talk starts at 7. Then you can watch 3 episodes of The Big Bang Theory starting at 7:30. The Amazing Race Canada starts at 9. Password is on at 10. Time now for another check on the weather, and it would have been a bad day to forget the umbrella, Jackie.
That's right, Stefan. I avoided much of the morning with a heavy rainfall, but if you take a look at our Skycam very shortly, you can see that the rain has started to pick up a little bit. Here is the live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 23 degrees out there right now. Cloudy day in the capital. A little bit of the drizzle moving through. We are anticipating showers throughout the evening, and keep in mind, a reminder, special weather statement is in effect for here in the Ottawa region. 50 to 100 millimeters of rainfall expected from Tuesday into Wednesday morning when all is said and done. And this gives you a snapshot of what we can expect. So 8 p.m., there will be some light rain moving through around Renfrew, even in Ottawa. Brockville and Smiths Falls, a little bit of stronger rain moving through. It is likely to clear out by the time 7 a.m. rolls around. Mostly cloudy skies for Ottawa and the Valley. It's really focused around the Cornwall area. It's in the afternoon, though, that we're going to start to see light rain moving through, coming in from the east. And again, the band of severe thunderstorms could be coming towards the Brockville area. So here in Ottawa, yes, we are anticipating some rainfall. Early indicators are showing between 15 to 25 millimeters of rain. So we're keeping a very close eye on this. Temperature-wise, though, daytime high will likely be about 20 degrees. So it is going to stay quite humid as well. But really throughout the day, you want that umbrella handy and close by. Now, taking a look at the Valley, 17 overnight, 22 the daytime high. Showers will continue there as well, periodically, even including in the Seaway, where temperatures will be 19 overnight, 22 the anticipated daytime high. Will we see a break in this rain? It will likely not be until Friday. Yes, there is a chance of showers for Thursday. This is likely in the morning. It should clear by Thursday evening. Daytime high 27 degrees. Friday 28 as well, with lots of sunshine in store. Saturday cloudy. We could see the return of rain moving in through Sunday.
On today's edition of Simply Ottawa, a notable achievement that may be historic in nature, but today reminds the city of the origin story and pride for a name they still see in many places. This park, located at 612 Besserer, will now be known as the Herbert and Estelle Brown Park. The commemorative naming goes to a couple that called Ottawa home for decades. Originally from Jamaica, they moved in the 60s and worked hard to build what you now know as Brown's Dry Cleaners. Their story is one that showcases what's possible and continues to make their family and this city very proud.
I really feel overwhelmed by all of this. I just think of my grandparents and my parents and how hard they struggled, not even thinking that any day they would have any recognition except for their family, but for the city to recognize them. It's just so amazing.
You know, there is no other park in the City of Ottawa which bears the name of a Black family. They were such pioneers in the Ottawa area. They were entrepreneurs. I don't think there's a ward in the city that didn't have a Brown's Cleaners at one point.
And much beloved founders.
The mayor and several other dignitaries, including from embassies, were in attendance, and the wet weather wasn't enough to keep people from coming out or smiling about this Simply Ottawa moment. And we want to hear your stories of people doing good, spreading joy, making a difference, or marking a notable achievement. We'll be showcasing stories that touch our hearts and make us proud of our city and those living in it. Simply Ottawa. You can send your story ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Coming up on CTV News at 5, more of these coming to Ottawa streets. We have details on the police expanding the body-worn camera program. And taking a live look at today's cheapest gas prices, they can be found at Esso on Donald Street at 169.8 cents for a litre of regular. Now another live check on traffic. The Queensway looking good along most stretches, but Parkdale is starting to slow down. You can see slowdowns at Churchill as well. If you are in the westbound lanes, it'll take you a while to get out towards Moody and Pinecrest. Stay with us.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Current temperature 23 degrees, fairly wet out there. And time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
You pull up to a burnt house and you open up a shed, you know, and there's a baby crib in there with all the toys in it, and you still take that stuff. So pretty wild to me that someone has the audacity to do that.
First, their home goes up in flames. Then thieves target their backyard shed. The incredibly difficult ordeal for one young family in Lanark County.
I mean, a parking ticket's a parking ticket no matter what color it is.
The city wants to make sure you don't miss your next parking ticket. A new color-coded system, just one of the many changes, along with an increase in fines and a longer payment window.
Various governments have uncovered perhaps the modus operandi of an intelligence service, and has stopped the further development of what could be a mole or a penetration agent.
A Canadian intern will remain behind bars after being denied bail. The woman accused of spying at NATO's headquarters in Belgium. That update and more coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. The Ottawa Police Service is set to equip dozens of more officers with body-worn cameras by the end of the year. So far, police have applauded its ability to help with transparency and accountability, but also its language capabilities to assist with translations in real time. 30 Members of the crisis intervention team and designated sergeants on the front line began wearing the cameras last November. The program will expand to another 200 officers by December. Despite the cost of many groceries staying steady or even dropping this month, the price of protein is on the rise. New data released by the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University found that prices in the meat and fish category increased by 6.5%, adding nearly $6 to the average grocery bill. The biggest jump was in the price of bacon, which increased nearly 29%, followed by Atlantic salmon at 26%. However, the price of chicken breast was down nearly 27%. A new survey finds more than 90% of drivers in the province have seen people driving dangerously. The survey conducted by CAA South Central Ontario found 70% of respondents say they have witnessed speeding, while 69% say they have seen people driving aggressively. Meanwhile, 68% have seen other drivers carry out unsafe lane changes or be distracted. 57% of respondents admitted to engaging in at least one dangerous driving behavior. Tim Hortons says it will be launching a Harry Potter-themed menu next month. Canadian customers will get a chance to order items inspired by the film franchise. The coffee chain says it's launching the new menu as well as limited edition merchandise and packaging to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the first Harry Potter movie. New menu items will include the Gryffindor strawberry cheesecake donut and the Slytherin chocolate pistachio donut.
My parents tried this place in Gatineau, and they said it was some of the best donuts they ever had, so we've been waiting for this place to open since.
A highly anticipated donut shop with more than a dozen locations in Quebec is now open in Ottawa at Herongate Square. Homies, called Omels in Quebec, is the latest to be part of the mouth-watering sweet donut trend. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of National starts right now. Thanks for watching.